Born into extreme poverty, one immigrant from Austria would go on to achieve the American dream and become a cultural icon. Arnold Schwarzenegger is undoubtedly the greatest bodybuilder to ever exist, but behind his magnificent legacy lies a past full of secrets and tragedies, a secret obsession with Nazis, multiple sexual assault allegations, and rigged bodybuilding competitions is the dark side of Arnold that very few know. To uncover the secrets of Arnold's life, we have to start from the beginning. Arnold Schwarzenegger was born in a small village in Austria on July 30th, 1947. Arnold grew up in poverty. His house had no running water and he didn't even know what a shower was until the age of 15. He had a very rough upbringing, growing up in a very strict Catholic household. One of Arnold's darkest secrets is about his very own blood. His father, Gustav Schwarzenegger, was the local chief of police and in 1938 joined the Nazi party where he served as an SA officer. He also served as a military policeman in the invasions of Poland, France, and the Soviet Union. Gustav had a sense of resentment towards Arnold and blatantly favored his elder son, which stemmed from a suspicion that Arnold was not his biological child. Gustav was an incredibly evil person, with Arnold claiming that his father would often come home drunk and start screaming during the early hours of the morning before physically abusing his wife or children. Arnold's relationship with his mother was also quite interesting, with his mother bringing Arnold to the doctor because she thought he was gay due to the bodybuilding posters in his room. Arnold was average academically, but stood out in his classroom for his cheerful, good-humored, and exuberant character. However, Arnold struggled with reading and was diagnosed with dyslexia at a later age. Arnold's introduction to weightlifting began in 1960 when his football coach brought the team to the local gym to train.
I tell you, I just got into it because it really felt great doing weight training. I did it for soccer, and like a lot of soccer players do weight training to strengthen their legs. And I think I fell in love with the weight training, or with the feeling of being strong and being big and all that. And I wanted to win Mr. Universe, and it was a dream that I had when I was 15 years old.
After a year of training, Arnold met the former Mr. Austria, who took an interest in Arnold and invited him to train together. Arnold was so passionate and dedicated to bodybuilding that he would even break into the local gym on weekends to train, even when it was closed. Arnold was forced to serve in the Austrian army in 1965 to fulfill his mandatory year of service as an Austrian male citizen. However, this did not stop Arnold from bodybuilding, where he would often train with whatever equipment he had whenever he had a break. However, during his service, Arnold went AWOL during the basic training to compete in the Junior Mr. Europe contest. Arnold would end up winning the competition, but upon his return had to spend a week in military prison.
You're lumbered into position for a final once-over by the experts. The choice was an American as amateur Mr. Universe and an Austrian as the professional.
This risk would pay off for Arnold, where he was later voted Best Built Man of Europe, which made him famous in the bodybuilding scene. Arnold had one singular goal in mind, the Mr. Universe title. With the Mr. Universe title, Arnold would have a golden ticket into America, or as he called it, the land of opportunity. Arnold competed in the 1966 NABA Mr. Universe competition in London, where he placed second, still being underdeveloped compared to his competition. One of the judges saw the potential in Arnold and offered to coach him at one of his gyms in London. It was next year that Arnold would make history, becoming the youngest ever to win the Mr. Universe title at the age of 20. Arnold would then go on to win the Mr. Universe title another 3 times. Finally, Arnold's dream of moving to the United States would come true in 1968. It was here in California that Arnold would train at Gold's Gym under the guidance of Joe Weider, who would end up co-founding the IFBB. However, Arnold's past would continue to haunt him. On May 20th, 1971, Arnold's brother died in a car crash. His brother was driving drunk and unfortunately died instantly. Arnold did not attend his brother's funeral, and nearly a year later, his father Gustav died of a stroke. Arnold claimed that he did not attend his father's funeral because he was training for a bodybuilding contest. However, his girlfriend at the time recalled that Arnold, seemingly with no emotion or despair, informed her of his father's death.
I have to cut my emotions off and be kind of cold. No emotions, no feelings. I want to be the best, and I'm perfectly willing to go through anything to be the best.
She also claimed that he would never speak about his brother, with Arnold giving multiple versions of why he was unable to attend either funeral. This, however, never stopped Arnold's bodybuilding career, with him going full steam ahead to achieve his goal of becoming Mr. Olympia. After training for a full year at Gold's Gym in Venice, Arnold's first attempt at the Mr. Olympia title was in 1969. Arnold placed second only to 3-time champ Sergio Oliva. To place second at his very first Mr. Olympia contest at the age of 22 was an incredibly impressive feat. But to Arnold, second place was as good as last. Arnold's golden moment would come the following year in the 1970 Mr. Olympia, where he would be crowned the youngest Mr. Olympia winner ever at the age of 23, which still holds to this day. Arnold continued his reign of dominance, winning the next 5 Mr. Olympia competitions. In 1975, filmmakers persuaded Arnold to compete and film his training in the infamous documentary Pumping Iron. Arnold had only 3 months to prepare for the competition, after losing significant weight to appear in the film Stay Hungry. It was in Pumping Iron that we would get a glimpse into the mental and psychological attacks that Arnold would fling towards his competitors.
I watch you.
I watch you too.
Oh, with the barbell above my head. I'm not nervous at all.
Although shown in the film as very lighthearted, Arnold would try at every chance to psych out his competition. Back in Munich, Arnold would haze and mislead the new gym goers, ranging from getting people to eat dog food as a secret nutrition hack or teaching German slurs disguised as greetings to Americans new to the gym. This was just a small glimpse into the near sociopathic mindset that Arnold would abuse from his position of power. Despite multiple distractions and responsibilities, Arnold was in perfect form for the 1975 Mr. Olympia, where he would go on to win his 6th Mr. Olympia title, beating his training partner Franco Columbu in the final judging. After making history and becoming the undisputed greatest bodybuilder to ever live, Arnold announced his retirement after his win.
Bodybuilding has been a beautiful experience for me, and I will continue it for the rest of my life. I only stopped competing, but I'm not stopping bodybuilding. It's the greatest sport. Thank you.
This retirement, however, would turn out to be fairly short-lived and would lead into the biggest controversy of Arnold's professional career, the 1980 Mr. Olympia. At the time, Arnold was focusing on his acting career. While starring in Conan, Arnold had to transform from a lean man to a 230-pound warrior. So, Arnold began training with his old bodybuilding routines to build up to the Conan body. As Arnold began to return to his peak form, rumors of his return rustled through the bodybuilding community. However, Arnold was very adamant that he would not be competing and instead signed up as a commentator for the Mr. Olympia contest. During the Mr. Olympia press conference, Arnold stole the show and began to belittle the competitors. Mike Menser at one point got so infuriated with Arnold that he even attempted to attack him during the press conference. Then, as a massive shock to all bodybuilding fans and competitors alike, Arnold announced the day before the Mr. Olympia that he would be making a comeback into the professional bodybuilding scene. He kept this plan a secret in the event that a training accident would prevent his entry. The reactions were mixed, with fans of Arnold's of course ecstatic. The other side being furious that Arnold was trying to steal the spotlight and thinking that he was going to return and tarnish his perfect legacy. Fast forward to the competition day and tensions were incredibly high. Backstage, many of the competitors were voicing their anger towards Arnold, and it escalated to the point where Mike Menser once again tried to attack Arnold after he said that Mike lost the last Mr. Olympia because of his large belly. It was safe to say that it was Arnold versus everyone else on that stage. It was also highly speculated that Arnold was high on cocaine during the competition, due to his rash nature with an unusually stressed look on his face.
Joe Weider told me later that Arnold was on cocaine that day. And in looking at some of the photographs later on, I believe that he had an unusually stressed look on his face. The veins on his forehead were distended. All symptoms of being on cocaine.
On the night of the show, many were shocked at Arnold's conditioning. The Austrian oak seemed to be past his prime, with fans claiming that he was only at 90% of his former glory. At the end of the night, Arnold was declared the winner of the 1980 Mr. Olympia. Immediately after, fellow competitors had stepped off the stage, with nearly half of the 2,000 in attendance reportedly booing Arnold. There was no doubt that the competition had been rigged for Arnold, as he had very close ties with the IFBB and the competition judges. The public was very upset over the 1980 Mr. Olympia, but the damage was already done to the bodybuilding scene, with multiple bodybuilders like Mike Menser retiring immediately after the event. Even with an incredible and historic trophy case that Arnold had for his bodybuilding career, the 1980 Mr. Olympia was a dull title in his accolades. Arnold later admitted to using performance-enhancing steroids while they were legal, but claimed they were not for muscle growth, but rather muscle maintenance when cutting body fat. Arnold also discussed his use of marijuana, where he also claimed that marijuana is not a drug, but a leaf, and that his drug of choice was pumping iron. What most people don't know about Arnold is that his first million had nothing to do with his acting or bodybuilding career. After moving to the US, Arnold started a bricklaying company with his trading partner Franco Columbu, as Franco was a skilled bricklayer. They placed ads in the Los Angeles Times and upcharged wealthy Californians as they claimed they were European bricklayers and masonry experts. People bought this marketing and their business began to take off. Arnold would then use the profits to buy real estate and even start a mail order business that sold bodybuilding tapes.
I won the world championships so many times now that I would like to go on, try to be the best in something else.
Like what?
I would like to get into acting.
After his bodybuilding career, Arnold decided to move into acting. Initially, Arnold faced many struggles adjusting to this new environment. He was told by agents that his body was too weird, his accent was too hard to understand, and that even his name was too long. He was told by everyone that he had no chance. However, these agents could not be more wrong, with Arnold having a long and successful career, starring in many famous films, such as Conan the Barbarian, Predator, Terminator, and many more. In 1993, he was even named International Star of the Decade by the National Association of Theatre. However, his ascension to fame and fortune did not come without troubles in his personal life. Arnold was always known as a notorious playboy. He met his next lover, Sue Moret, in July 1977. According to Moret, the couple had an open relationship, claiming that they were faithful when they were both in LA. But when he was out of town, they were free to do whatever they wanted. Another ex-girlfriend claims that towards the end of the relationship, Arnold became insufferable and that the world revolved around him, as it was revealed that he was also unfaithful in the relationship. Arnold even had an affair with his Conan co-star Brigitte Nielsen, who would go on to marry his rival, Sylvester Stallone. In 1986, Arnold married Maria Shriver, who would then divorce in 2011. Maria had moved out of their house after it had been revealed that 14 years earlier, Arnold had fathered a child with her housemaid. However, Arnold only confessed after being confronted with the information by Maria after she had done some digging. With all of the fame, money, and therefore choice, it was apparent that Arnold struggled with staying loyal to significant other and resulted in many ugly endings to his relationships. Wendy Lay, who wrote an unofficial biography on Arnold, portrayed him as obsessed with power and quotes him as saying, "I wanted to be part of the small percentage of people who were leaders, not the large mass of followers. I was always fascinated by people in control of other people." This ideology was further reflected in possibly Arnold's darkest secret, his Nazi obsession. But it needs to be noted that these are allegations and are not proven. One of the filmmakers of Pumping Iron admitted that during filming of the documentary, Arnold definitely said that he admired Hitler. It was also claimed that Arnold was booed off stage for hitting a Nazi salute in a posing exhibition in Germany. In a deleted interview, Arnold is asked, "Who do you most admire?" Arnold mentioned Hitler in the Nuremberg Stadium, where you would have all those people screaming at you and just be in total agreement with whatever you say. A writer of his 1977 autobiography claimed that he saw Arnold imitate Hitler for laughs, and even produced 2 photos of Arnold pulling his hair down over his forehead, using his comb as a Hitler mustache, and raising his arm in a mock Nazi salute. When confronted about these allegations, Arnold would not comment and conveniently purchased all of the outtake footage from the film. A former Gold's Gym member even claimed that he heard Arnold make a number of anti-Semitic remarks, and that if someone looked Jewish, he would tell them that they were inferior. These allegations, although very shocking, are just allegations. There are many stories telling an opposite side of Arnold, where he can be described as standing up for the little guy.
Yes, first of all, I have to compliment you for your physical development because you really look very athletic and good, so don't put yourself down.
Such as in the 1975 Mr. Olympia in South Africa, where he stood up for his fellow bodybuilders after being denied access to use the same bus as the white bodybuilding competitors. Arnold's most recent controversy came in his political career. Arnold, who was a registered Republican for many years, decided to run for governor of California in 2003, which he would then go on to win. However, during his campaign, decade-old allegations of sexual misconduct from 6 individual women were brought to light. He was accused of making inappropriate comments and even trying to remove a woman's bathing suit in an elevator. Arnold initially denied these claims, and these allegations were ended in settlements. However, in his new documentary, Arnold revisited the idea and stated that he was totally wrong and behaved badly sometimes. Even in the political world, Arnold was scrutinized, most notably for his opinion on COVID-19, stating that everyone should get vaccinated, wear masks, and infamously said, "Screw your freedom." Arnold is undoubtedly one of the most iconic persons of our time, but he had his share of skeletons in the closet. This does not make Arnold a horrible person, but rather goes to show that no one is perfect and that you can grow from your mistakes.